Yeah, so coming off their first non-playoff campaign in 6 years, the Hawks have had that massive makeover this offseason. Most of the coaching staff, number of high-profile veterans, Richard Sherman, Michael Bennett among them, are gone, and that has left some major needs in terms of depth at cornerback, defensive line, offensive line. Running back's been a big issue for a couple of years. Tight end is now an issue as well. And you add in all those major needs with the fact that that's kind of slim pickings for the Hawks. They only have one pick in the first 3 rounds overall, 119 selections. Seattle right now only has one at 18 overall. Add that with the fact that the Seahawks haven't used their first-round pick in 7 years. The last time they actually used a first-round pick, they took James Carpenter, who was a starter on the Super Bowl-winning team at offensive line. So you add all that together. What does it mean? It means that a lot of people think that Seattle might take this one first-round pick and pair it with a couple of these. Look at these fifth-round picks, the 168, 156. Don't have a ton of value, but if you package them together, maybe you move down from the first round, move up from the 5th round, maybe pick up a couple of second-round picks or a second and a third, and you can address some of that depth that's been such an issue for the Hawks. That's what Brock Hewart of ESPN Radio believes will happen.
Yeah, I think they trade. You know, it's been their MO for the last 5 years, and with their needs, Steve, I think this year as much as any. I mean, this is the first year in a long time that if you'd have came with the camera the day before the draft and said, well, where's their needs? Well, they don't need this, they don't need that, they don't need – this year they do.
Yeah.
This year they need linebackers, they need corners, they need wide receivers, they need tight ends, they need a running back, they need linemen. I mean, there's some significant need as this team has turned. I'd be very surprised if they drafted 18.
So that's where they stand right now, but it could change by the time the draft starts tonight. The first ever draft at an NFL stadium. It'll be in Dallas. Starts at 5 o'clock. If the Hawks keep the pick, their first-round pick probably comes up about 7 o'clock tonight. Second and third rounds tomorrow. Again, as of now, that's an empty spot for the Hawks, but it might not be. Then the last 4 rounds of the draft begin Saturday, 9 a.m. our time.